Hi, Eva Nichols here. Today I'm going to show you how to paint a split primary color wheel and also a color chart using the Daniel Smith Essential Watercolor set that consists of 6 colors, 2 of each primary color. So we have a warm blue, which is French ultramarine blue, and then we have a cool blue, which is phthalo blue, a cool yellow, Hansa yellow light, a warm yellow, new Gambos, a warm red, pale scarlet, and then finally quinacridone rose, which is our cool red. So a total of 6 colors, 2 of each primary color. And that is a really good starter set. So that's why I wanted to go over it both with painting a color wheel and then a color chart. And here you can see that's the color wheel, and instead of having just one blue, one red, and one yellow one, I have the 2 blues. I have the warm blue, the French ultramarine, on the one side towards the red, and then I have the cool blue on the other side towards the yellow. And the reason there's you can see that's a cool blue towards the cool yellow, which is the Hansa yellow light, and then a new Gambos, which is our warm yellow, and that is closest to the warm red, the pale scarlet. And then the cool red quinacridone rose is then closest to the warm blue, French ultramarine blue. And that's because that's how you can mix the brightest colors with these split primary colors. And I wanted to show you that in this exercise. I know that a lot of my students, they get confused with what's warm and what's cool. And I think this is a really good exercise. And if you're just starting out with watercolor, this is one of the best sets out there to get you started with good professional colors and where you just get the basics, your primary colors in a cool and a warm version. So you can see I already painted in the 3 primary colors in a cool and a warm version. And the first secondary color we're going to make is a warm orange with the new Gamboge and the pale scarlet. And since we are painting the section that is closest to the pale scarlet, we are going to make it quite a warm orange. So there's a little bit more red in this orange than yellow. So we follow the color wheel. And I'm using some washi tape here, or you can use masking tape to just mask it out so it's easy to paint it on with nice straight edges and it doesn't bleed. And I'm putting on clean water in the 2/3 of this section from the tip up, and then I start from the circle part and work my way into the water. That way I get a nice gradated wash that gives me all the information I can want about what this color will look like, full strength, and then watered down to a very light orange. And I like to paint my color wheels this way. And if you haven't seen my other demo on how to paint a color wheel, I'll have the links below. And now I am ready to paint the next section, and that is my warm blue, French ultramarine blue, and my cool red, the quinacridone rose. And the slice I'm painting is the one that's closest to the quinacridone rose. So I'm going to put a little bit more quinacridone rose in for this section. And that's going to give me a nice reddish purple. Kind of a magenta color actually. And the same thing here, get the water in 2/3 and then start from the circle, for the outer circle, and then work your way into the water that's put down. And this gives a nice lavender color when you water it down, as you can see here. So the French ultramarine blue and the quinacridone rose is really wonderful for your purples. just as the Scarlet Red and the new Gambos are wonderful for your bright oranges. And here we are going back into our puddle of the orange that we painted earlier. And we're adding some of the new Gambos in, because now we're painting the next section that is closer to the new Gambos. So there'll be more yellow in this. So this is an orange that's more like a true orange, I would say. And again, we're working from the outer circle and then into the water we put down, and then take a little bit of the pigment off so I can get that nice gradation and get it nice and light at the tip, and make sure that it's nice and full strength out at the outer end of the circle. So there you can see. And then we're just moving right along, and we're back to our quinacridone rose, and then the French ultramarine blue. And now we have more blue in our mixture because we're closer to the French ultramarine blue. So it'll be more like a true purple or violet. And this is really a beautiful, beautiful color. So if you have tried to mix purples using your French ultramarine blue with your Pyro Scarlet, you will have discovered that you get a really murky purple. But if you use the quinacridone rose, you get this beautiful, beautiful, clean and brilliant purple. And then the last section is the one between the cool yellow, which is our Hansa Yellow Light, and then with our cool blue, which is our phthalo blue green shade, which is the cool blue in this set. And since we're starting with the triangle there closest to the phthalo blue, we have more phthalo blue in this mix. So you're getting a very kind of dark turquoisey green, as you can see here. And phthalo blue is a very, very strong, very staining color. So you have to put quite a bit of water in to get that lighter section. But you can see how rich and dark it is out there by the edge of the circle. It's a gorgeous color. And then the last little slice we have left here is between the phthalo blue and the Hansa Yellow Light. So now we need to put more Hansa Yellow Light in our mixture, and we're getting a gorgeous, gorgeous green. And this is how you get really, really bright greens using your phthalo blue with your Hansa Yellow Light. And you could put even more yellow in to get like a really spring green. But here, I want to paint the color wheel as true as possible. So they have, the beautiful clean colors using the split primary colors. Now we are going to do the color chart. And I started out with just putting the pure colors in first, and now we are mixing. Here we're doing the first square, which is our phthalo blue green shade mixed with our Hansa Yellow Light. And on the left side of the pure colors, I'm going to do it full strength. And then there will be another square on the other side, as you can see on the chart. And there I'm going to put a little water inside the square, so I get the same mixture, but in a lighter version with more water, so it's watered down. That way you get two variations of the same mixture. And I'm sorry about the shine here where I have water on the paper, but hopefully you can see it anyway. And you can see that's the same color that I just painted in a darker square. And now with all the water in, it just gives you a completely different shade, much lighter and more translucent. And then the next one we're going to paint is our mixture of French ultramarine blue and quinacridone rose. And that's going to give us that nice purple, clean purple color. We already saw that in the color chart. And just trying to be careful. You could use some masking tape, but it was faster for me to do it this way, and just gives a little exercise in brush control. But if you're feeling that that's too hard to stay within the squares, if you're a perfectionist, that is, if you just don't care if it's a little sloppy, that's, you know, fine too. It's really just to teach you what these colors will mix. And here we're doing the lighter version of that purple we get from mixing the French ultramarine blue with the quinacridone rose. So you can see, again, that's a lovely color. And the more you water it down, the more it'll be like beautiful for painting all sorts of lavender things. You know, would be wonderful for lilacs and that kind of thing. And now we're mixing the new Gambo, which is our warm yellow, with the pale Scarlet. So that is the one that gives us that beautiful, rich orange, brilliant orange. And here it's on the side of the pure colors where we have the full strength, and then we'll do the other square where we get more water in. So we put water in the square first, and you don't have to do it like this, but I just think there's no need to have two identical, you know, squares. So I like to get the full strength version and then the watered down version. And so you can see that's a, you know, beautiful orange, great if you painted like mandarins or oranges and that kind of stuff, or orange flowers. And the next one we're going to paint is our French ultramarine blue mixed with the phthalo blue. So it's our two blues mixed together, the cool and the warm blue. So that will give us a more true blue shade in between those two blues. And that can come in handy for a lot of things. Sorry, it's a little bit out of focus there, but you can see, just trying to be precise as good as I can. And then we'll do that same combination where it's watered down more, and I'm just dabbing in a little bit more of the pigment to get that full, rich, full strength color. So that's a gorgeous blue. And in here, you can see what it looks like when it's watered down. That would be great for a little bit of a darker summer sky and for a lot of other things. And I am going to do another video with more color mixing, with just using these 6 primary colors to show you even more color combinations that you can do. Of course, this one is just the basic, really. So the next one is our Hansa Yellow Light mixed with our French ultramarine blue. So that is our cool yellow with our warm blue. So you will notice that you get a little bit more of a subdued green, not quite as bright as when we mixed with the cool yellow over on the color wheel. And then we'll do the watered down version. And again, you can see it's just a little bit more subdued. So it's actually more of a natural green color, more of what you would see out in nature. And just cleaning up the edges and just strengthening the color a little bit. The next one is our quinacridone rose with our phthalo blue. So it's our cool red with our cool blue. And again, you know, remember I said that phthalo blue is a very, very strong pigmented blue. And so you're going to get a very dark, rich purple out of these 2 colors. It will not be quite as bright as what you got with mixing the quinacridone rose with your French ultramarine blue, but still a very, very nice purple. You can see this is a little bit more subdued now that you can see it in the watered down version, and it's more eggplant-like, and it's really because we are using the cool blue. And here's new Gambos with phthalo blue. So we have our warm yellow with our cool blue. So again, you're getting a rich, dark, but more subdued green because we're using the warm yellow instead of the cool yellow. And this is a wonderful, color to use for, evergreens, and just really rich dark green shadows in foliage and that kind of thing would be great with this color. And here you can see the watered down version. And again, you have to remember to be a little careful with that phthalo blue, because it really can take over the show very quickly if you're not careful. So our next color combination is the new Gambos mixed with the Hansa Yellow Light. So here we're mixing our warm yellow with our cool yellow, so you get kind of a mid-tone yellow. And that, can be very handy. So you can see here it's right next to the warm and the cool yellow. So you can see it's like right in between. It's a nice mid-tone yellow that you can create from mixing your two yellows. And that's great for, daffodils and other yellow flowers and other subject matter. And here we have it in the watered down version. And again, a nice mid-tone yellow. And then we are going to mix our pale scarlet with a French ultramarine blue. So we have our warm blue with our cool red. And that is going to basically give us almost black, purpley black color, especially here in the full strength version. So rich darks, but a little bit on the warm side since we're using our warm blue. And then the cool red. So it's going to lean towards the purple, but a very, very dark version and very muted. And you will be able to see that even more so once we go into the square here with our pale red French ultramarine blue mixture, where it's watered down. So you can see it's very gray compared to the two other purple tones that we have. And then we're going to do Hansa Yellow Light with our pale scarlet. So again, you get a very bright, rich orange, even brighter than when you mix it with the new Gambos. A little bit of a different shade of orange. And here you can see the watered down version being painted in just a second. Here, just put the water down and then get the mixture of pale scarlet with the Hansa Yellow Light. And there you have it. It's also a lovely orange. You really get some beautiful, very bright oranges with this color set. Just lifting out a little bit where I got into the other yellow. And then our next one is Hansa Yellow Light with the quinacridone rose. So that's our cool red with our cool yellow. So that's going to be a little bit more subdued orange color, orange reddish color. And there you can see what it looks like full strength. And then we're going to do the watered down version. And I'm not sure that you can really see the color differences here on the camera, but there are subtle differences in all these oranges. So And you have even infinite possibilities, because you can of course vary how much yellow, how much red you put into your orange mixes. And the next one is our French ultramarine blue with our new Gambo. So it's our warm blue with our warm yellow. So that is going to be a very subdued green. So really a mossy, rich mossy green. And here you can see how dark and rich it is, and even more subdued than our phthalo blue with the new Gamboge. And here's the watered down version. Again, very, very usable color combination in landscapes and florals for that matter, for those more subtle greens. So you can definitely get a lot of wonderful, wonderful greens with this set. And then we only have a few left. Pile Scarlet with our quinacridone rose. So there we are mixing our warm red with our cool red, so you get more of a true red by mixing these two reds together. Just need to add a little bit more water to that. I've got a little too pigmented. And you will find that the Pile Scarlet is a little bit stronger than the quinacridone rose as far as tinting power. But there you can see you get a nice true red by mixing those two. And then let's just get the watered down version of that red. And there you can see, this is, of course, you can see those reds. You have wonderful, wonderful shades to work with for florals and other subject matter. And then last but not least, we are getting to our Pile Scarlet with our phthalo blue. So that's our cool red with our cool blue. And that basically creates a black, or very, very dark color. So this is a wonderful, wonderful color combination to create those rich darks that can be difficult in watercolor. And there you have it. The last square is that wonderful rich dark we get from our Pile Scarlet and phthalo blue green shade. And there you will be able to see that you can get like wonderful gray tones. And again, you could push it towards the cool or the warm side, depending on how much of the Pile Scarlet or phthalo blue you put in the mixture. And I need to put more water in here because it is such a rich color that it really needs a lot of water to be watered down to that gray. And just fixing the edges, and might be lifting out a little bit of the color in just a second. And yeah, just cleaning it up. And there you can see the dried color chart and the color wheel. So I hope that you found this helpful, and I hope you will try it out yourself. It is a wonderful exercise to learn about your colors. Thank you so much for watching, and please remember to subscribe to my channel if you haven't already, and keep an eye out for the next color video I'm going to post in a few days, where I do even more color combinations for you using just these three primary colors in Cool and Warm from Daniel Smith.